Hello and welcome back to Keto Homestead with Jess. Good morning, Lady Casca.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rob Rhodes. And back to Keto Homestead with Jess. Good morning, Lady Casca. Sorry, I'll have to mute it. Good morning, Prepper Chicken, Texas. So this morning we're going to be canning some shrimp. So exclusive prepper. Good morning. Good to see you. You had me at shrimp. I think everybody loves shrimp, or at least a lot of people do. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first ingredient, of course, is shrimp. We need to have shrimp. We're going to use a gallon of water, a cup of salt, and a cup of white vinegar. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Get some water in my pot. Oh, and I'm going to turn my stove on. I guess I should have done that. I'm turning my stove on to 275 to get my jars heated up. Good morning, Rob. I'm going to turn my pot on high, and I'm going to add a cup of white distilled vinegar to my pot. I'm also going to add a cup of salt. I'm going to turn on my canner and get it warmed up. So everything we're starting out is warm. Let's see. Hello, Christopher. Good morning to you. It's good to see you. Hope everybody is having a good morning. We got 5 in the chat. If you would please give me a thumbs up and share me out if you can. Got 8 thumbs up. Nice. Thank you all. Hit the wrong button. That's all right, Lady Casca. You can come back up if you want or stay in the chat. That's totally up to you. Good morning, Steve. It's good to see you. How are you feeling? I hope you're recovering good. I'm just waiting for my pot to come up to a boil now. All right, Lady Casca, I hope you start feeling better. I'm still alive. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Steve. So I was going to do this a canning behind the scenes, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Some people aren't feeling good. There's weather and power outages and things like that going on. So I figured I'd bring you all along with me this morning. Be right back. All right, exclusive prepper. Finally, we had a couple days break here from all the rain. I was able to get out to the garden yesterday. I was super excited and picked a bunch of tomatoes, so I'll be canning tomatoes later on today as well. Good morning, Moonlight Gypsy. Good to see you. I hope everything is good in your neck of the woods. So yeah, I can't believe the tomatoes that are coming out of the garden. They're just doing awesome. Show you the tomatoes. Nice meaty tomatoes. I got a whole basket full of those. So I got my work cut out for me today. And I'm doing a small bag. I got a small bag of shrimp. And so I'll probably, depending on how many will fit in the jar, I'll probably do either 1 or 2 cans of shrimp. It's not going to be much, but I wanted to do this for video purposes anyway, so that's quite okay. Chickens and roosters are out there. I can hear the roosters crowing. Somebody's laying an egg. I hear a chicken laying an egg. Can you guys hear the chicken in the background? She must be laying a big egg. She's going on. Jess, everything good here? Thank you. You're welcome. Hope you are well. I am well. Thank you. I had a rough night, but I woke up another day, so I'm happy. I think I ended up finally falling asleep at like 4:50 in the morning. And then I woke up at 6:20 and I was like, oh no, it's too early. I rolled over, went back to sleep for an hour, and then got back up. But I'm good. I'm ready to start my day. Mine were up bright and early, clucking laugh out loud. Ducks were going off the most, though. I love them, but they're annoying sometimes. My ducks really don't make much noise. It's always my chickens or my quail or my turkey don't make much noise. But yeah, it's usually my chickens or my geese make a lot of noise too. But the ducks are usually pretty quiet. I don't know if that's because they are a different breed because they're Muscovy or what the deal is, but they stay pretty silent. Unless I get near their babies, then they'll go crazy. That should start boiling here soon. It's pretty hot. I gotta get through my quail and butcher out some quail here soon. I've got so many males. I think I have like 8 or 9 males. So I need to weed some of them out. Hey, Shift Kicker. Good morning. It's good to see you. I'm still just waking up, you guys, so please forgive me. I'm still working on my first cup of coffee. Usually I wake up full of energy and ready to go. Not so much today. I'm just trying to wake up and get my voice. My voice is all crackly. I can hear it. All right. So next step is I'll go ahead and throw my shrimp in here. Now technically I don't really have to do this step because my shrimp are already peeled and ready to go, but I want to make sure that I show you every step in case you don't have shrimp that are peeled or anything. So we'll go ahead and put the shrimp in here for a few minutes and let it boil. And this basically just makes it easier to peel them or get them ready to get into the jars. Give that just a couple more seconds. Hello, James. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'm just waiting for them shrimp to turn a little pink. All right, I'll just keep that on. So next step is to drain your shrimp. Then you are going to rinse them with cold water. And this is the time you would peel your shrimp if you need to peel them. So after you rinse them with cold water, you would peel them. And then you would go ahead and put another gallon of water in your pot. Get it back on the stove. And now we're going to make the brine. And it's just, like I said, a gallon of water. And we're going to do 3 tablespoons of salt. Like I said, this is just your brine. Get that salt incorporated, stirred up. I'm going to turn up my canner some more. Get that going. grab a couple hot jars out of my oven. Check the chat real quick. I'm just really weak. I'm so sorry, Lady Casca. I hope you do start feeling better. Never canned shrimp. I'm going to drink a bunch of vitamin C. Done deer meat, though. Yeah, deer meat is super good canned. Love canned deer meat. Writing this down as you go along. Thanks, Rob. I hope you try it. It's really good. Yeah, deer jerky. Oh my gosh. So when I was in high school, I went to I went to vocational school, and my town is avid hunters. So we always had we got a couple days off of school if you were a hunter during hunting season. And I remember I used to get in so much trouble because I'd be sitting in class chewing on my deer jerky, and they were like, "You can't eat in class." And I was always sneaking deer jerky. It's so good. I've canned deer roast. Yum. Yeah, I've done like beef roast, but deer roast too. So good. All right. So now everything's heated up. I'm going to go ahead and dump my shrimp back in there. Pretty hot. All right. Now I'm just going to start filling my jars. Like I said, I had very little. This is for video purposes only. So we'll see. I might get a whole jar. See if I can move these around a little bit better in here. Now, the best time to do this, obviously, is if shrimp is on sale or you can get a really good deal. We have a local farmer. He's about 2 towns away from me. He raises prongs, and you only harvest prongs once a year. And harvest season for prongs is September. And we usually take a trip down there and get about 8 pounds, anywhere from 8 to 10 pounds, depending on how much they're selling for that year. But have to wait until next month to do like a big batch of canning. If you don't know, prongs are basically the same thing as shrimp. They're just fresh water instead of salt water. Love prongs. Super good. Hello, Pinky. Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yes. You want to go ahead and fill the shrimp up to 1-inch headspace, and then make sure you have it filled. You don't want any of the shrimp to be out of the brine. It's super hot. Try to get this out of the way so you can see a little better. Oh, all right. We'll go ahead and put our lid and our ring on. And we will get this in the canner. going to go ahead and put my lid on. Maybe if I can get line up here. Alright, make sure your canner is locked in. Have it on high. My canner, my elevation is 10 pounds of pressure, so I'm going to be pulling that up to 10 pounds of pressure. The longest I have kept shrimp on the shelf, James, is a year. It hasn't lasted longer than a year for us. But like I said, I usually do pretty good sized batches during harvest season. This is the smallest batch I've ever done, which is fine. It's cool. Yeah, it is. It's super simple. It's really quick. It's not hard at all. You guys can do this. I have faith in you. And heck, if something happens, you'll have shrimp. Especially if you're, not anywhere near shrimp or prawn or anything like that. It just makes it really nice to have some shelf-stable shrimp. Whenever you want, you can just grab it off the shelf and go. I really like making, my favorite dish to make out of this is like a shrimp Alfredo. I'll do, sometimes I'll do can you hear the Amish? My Amish neighbors are going by in their buggy. One of my other favorite recipes to do is just to saute it in ghee and garlic. Oh, so good. I got here late. Please recap the process, Jess. Thanks. So basically, you just get a pot of water, a gallon of water, and to that pot, you want to bring it up to a boil and add a cup of salt, a cup of white vinegar to it. Bring it to a boil. Go ahead and throw your shrimp in. Once you let that boil for about 3 minutes, you can pull it out, rinse it off with cold water, and then you would go ahead and peel your shrimp at that time if you have shrimp to peel. Peel it, then you would go ahead and get another gallon of water and add 3 tablespoons of salt. Bring it back to the boil and throw your shrimp in there. Once it comes to a boil, you would take your hot jars out of the oven and start filling them up with the shrimp and the brine that you just made. And then go ahead and load your canner, turn it on high. I can at 10 pounds of pressure, and we are going to can for 40 minutes. And that's it. Super simple, easy process. I need to get over to my neighbors. They gave me an invitation to go ahead and come over and fish. I personally have never been a real big fisher woman. Like, I've fished in the past, but I've always fished to catch and release. But this year I talked to my neighbor and I want to fish and try fresh fish. I've never done that before. And also can some up. So that will be the first time I've ever canned any type of fish. So I'm super excited. I need to get my butt in gear and get over there, though. You're welcome, Pinky. But yeah, I would love to be able to have some fresh trout on the shelf or something like that. I know I like trout. I've just never had it that fresh. It's always store-bought. So I need to take advantage of going and fishing. Has anybody else in the chat ever canned any fish? I do have, like, of course, your home can, or not home can, your store-bought, I can't think this morning, tuna fish. I've got tuna fish from the store, and I've got salmon from the store on the shelf, but I just think it would be awesome to have my own home canned fish. No smoke it. Is it better smoke, Shift Kicker? I've never smoked fish before. So that would be a huge learning curve for me as well. I'm always up to learning something new, though. So right now I'm just waiting for the steam to start coming out of my canner, and as soon as the steam starts rising, then I can put my timer on for 10 minutes. I think fish tends to get mushy. Okay. I bought canned smoked trout from Walmart. And it was delicious. Tina Ladybug, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. Now I did have some shrimp left in my pot here. It wasn't enough to can, but what I'll do is I'll save that. Barrett can eat that later. I'll probably fry it up in ghee and garlic for him later. You can have that for lunch or a snack or whatever. A jelly jar. So I'll go ahead and put this in a jar, let it cool down, and then I can put this in the fridge for him for later. You could do jelly jars too, but it's really not much for a meal. Be a nice snack for one person, but that's about it. So as soon as that cools off, I'll put a lid on that and put it in the fridge for him. I haven't worked much with fish before, so I'm learning. I never used to like seafood until I went keto. Honestly, I didn't like anything that came out of the water. I just couldn't stand the smell of it, the taste of it, or the texture of it. And since I went keto, I don't know, my taste buds completely changed. And I started craving things like shrimp and fish. And I'm like, what the heck? And I don't know how to explain having a craving for something you don't eat or you have never eaten. It was really weird. And the first thing I really started eating a lot of was, salmon, canned salmon, like salmon patties. And then I moved on to like the filet salmon patties you can, or not patties, the filet salmon that you can get at Aldi's. And then I went into like really liking shrimp. And I think I started, after the shrimp, I started really liking crab legs. And then it took me about a year, and then I really started liking trout, like the fillets of trout you can get at Aldi's. But the trout to me tastes just like salmon. I don't know, it's weird. And those are basically the only fish that I've ever eaten. I haven't tried anything else. Yeah, shrimp is super good now. I love shrimp. It's weird how our taste buds change over the years. I can't wait though. Deer season's coming up, and we can, hopefully, if we get a deer, we can some deer meat soon. Who just popped up? I heard somebody pop up. It's Felicia. Hello.
Honey, my power's back. I can't hear you. Let's wait a few minutes.
Okay.
Wow, my whole house is trashed and everything's upside down, but the power went back on. The kids left. They had stuff they're doing today. And I'm like, well, I'm going to can shrimp.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad the power came back on.
huh?
I'm glad the power came back on.
Yeah, me too. It said 10:30, the estimate, and usually they're early. It wasn't from the map like really widespread, but I'm worried about tomorrow because tomorrow's supposed to be this hurricane.
Oh, okay. I thought the
So,
hurricane was
I mean,
today.
we're inland enough that we won't get the brunt, but we'll certainly get. Where's the others? You didn't hear from them?
No, we're live too, by the way.
Huh?
We're live.
Oh, we're live
Yeah,
on
we're
TV?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yep, we're
I
live.
thought we were behind the scenes unlive.
Nope. Today we
Oh.
are live.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hey, Harvest Merry Moon. Yeah, that's fine.
What?
I was talking to Harvest Merry Moon in the chat. She just popped in. Yeah, I thought the hurricane was supposed to hit today.
For New York and Long Island and Connecticut tomorrow.
Okay.
But it's overcast and damp looking, but it says tomorrow is the warnings. So I don't know what happened with our power this morning, but whatever. What are you up to with your...
Well, right now I've got the shrimp in the canner. I'm just waiting for it to come up to 10 pounds, or I'm waiting for it to steam so I can start timing it.
Oh, okay.
And I only got 1 pint-sized jar of shrimp, which is fine. But that's what I got out of that bag.
Really?
Yeah.
So I have 2 bags. They're 12 ounces, and I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try it. It's one of those, it's frozen. It's a shrimp ring. They're already cooked.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the scallops. Maybe we ate them. I don't know. So I'm just going to thaw some stuff out. I did find 2 lobster tails. I'll do them in a tiny jar and see what happens with that.
Oh. Yeah, that's good. I don't know. You'll have to tell me how the lobster tail comes out because I've never.
I'm curious. I've
Yeah.
seen, I looked it up. I saw that you can buy canned lobster tail. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, it's not like the best way to do it,
Yeah.
but like in Maine, where sometimes they get more than they know what to do with, people do. And there's a company, I've had their soups, like
Uh-huh.
lobster and crab biscuit stuff, and they sell the lobster tail in the can.
Yeah,
So
it'll be interesting. I personally don't like lobster, so that's not something I would can. But I am really intrigued on how that would turn out.
yeah, it won't last long on the shelf. I'm just doing it as like an experiment. So
Um, and that reminds me too. I want to try to get some clams. I need to write that down.
oh, the canned clams to do the clam sauce or
Yeah,
the
or the
soup.
clam chowder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be
Um,
good.
Harvest Mary Moon says that Felicia, have you seen any earthworms coming up? I always do a couple days before a hurricane comes where I am before I get water.
Oh, I haven't noticed because my plants are on the deck and they're like on the second floor, but I will look. I a lot of times um I'll see them going across my driveway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know where the storm is now. I think it's out in the Atlantic. It's taking an unusual route, I think. Not coming up the coast.
Yeah.
So that's why it's unusual because it's supposed to hit land um, in New York.
There it goes. Canner's steaming.
What?
I said, there it goes. My canner's steaming.
Very nice.
So what do you got going on this morning? It's getting hot in here already. It's only 9 o'clock. What do you got going on this morning? Your
Hmm?
first. I said, what do you have going on this morning?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm thawing out my shrimp. I have it soaking in water, but some of them is the pre-cooked and some of them is uncooked. I'm not sure it makes a difference, right?
I don't know. It's an experiment you have to play.
I think I'll mix them. What do you think?
Yeah, you can do it. I don't
Um,
see.
but since I'm running behind because the power went out like 6:30, um, yeah, and I was going to come down and organize and clean up. I never did, so I'm just running way behind your shrimp. So that's cool. I'll just take my time. But I had my little camping stove. I sent you the picture of the boiling the water
Yeah,
for the instant coffee. So that helps.
that's awesome. Harvest Mary Moon says that she get what would you call that? Hunts for clams. That's
Oh,
awesome.
really?
Yeah,
Clam digging. Where does she live?
I'm not sure.
Let me pull up my YouTube so I can
I
see
can
the
send
chat.
them on dry ice. I was just wondering. I don't know. That would be awesome though. wonder how they do that, because they do ship seafood and stuff like that, you know.
Oh, sure they do.
I don't know. North Carolina, the coast.
Oh, I have a house guest here now from North Carolina with my son. She's from Raleigh.
So funny. It seems like there's so many people that I meet on here in my live chats from North Carolina or South Carolina. It's like every other person or something. It's crazy. I'm like, I guess I have to move to North Carolina because that's where all the cool kids hang out.
Everyone likes it there. My son goes down all the time to visit. He'll go for a couple weeks at a time to visit friends and things, and he just loves it.
It's
But
been so long. I think, where's Myrtle Beach at?
South Carolina, I believe.
Okay. So the last time I went anywhere was like South Carolina, like on vacation, and I think I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 then. But it was beautiful there. It was so much fun. I remember we got chased out of there by hurricanes and stuff like that. We had to leave. I'm like, this stinks. We only got to play on the beach for a little bit before we had to leave. But it was fun.
I grew up on Long Island, and so I was at the beach all the time. And I do remember some hurricanes, and one of them, I couldn't tell you what year it was. I do remember one, we were like waiting up in the middle of the night because, like this one that they're saying, it was unusual that the eye of the storm was making land on the south shore of Long Island.
Yeah.
Usually it hits like in Florida and then like probably North or South Carolina, and then it just kind of goes up the coast.
Huh.
So it's already weaker by the time it gets here.
Yeah.
They said it's unusual that it actually, first comes off the ocean, hits land. But I do remember one, and we were up all night listening to the little transistor radio, hearing what was going on, and the power went out, and there was no big disaster by my house, but we were inland. I think a lot of damage happened.
Yeah.
I don't remember which storm that was because I was really young, but yeah. But people here remember, what was that one? That Sandy. It was a tropical storm, Sandy.
Yeah.
Did a lot of damage to New York and New Jersey.
Wow. Harvest Mary Moon says, "Yeah, come on here. We'd love to have you. I would love to come to North Carolina, South Carolina, and there's some other states I would love to visit. I can't do it with all the animals I have. I can't leave them alone.
Yeah, you really can't. I have a dog and a cat, and it would be hard enough.
Yeah. When hurricanes come here, we go play on the beach, laugh out loud. Here we don't have hurricanes, but we do every once in a while have like tornadoes and stuff. And people that aren't from around here, they always thought we were crazy because we would stand on the front porch to watch the tornadoes and stuff. And they're like, "Go in the basement." We're like all sitting on the front porch and rocking chairs watching.
When I was young, they used to say we don't get tornadoes in this part of the country. And we never did. And now we do all the time.
Huh.
I don't know why.
We get them all the time here, and we have since I was a kid, but there's only like a couple that have ever touched down. Not very often that they touch down.
Yeah, we just get them mainly in the spring, summer months, when we get like heavy thunderstorm, but there was never a tornado. And now, or maybe there was, but they just didn't have the technology. I don't know. But
Yeah.
now we've had some bad ones. But personally, I was never affected, so that's good.
I remember when I moved to the West Coast, I was living in like Montana, and California and stuff like that. And you know they don't have like thunder and light, or they have lightning, but they don't have thunder. Like I don't ever remember out of the 8 years.
Really? How can you have one without the other?
Yeah, they never had thunder. It's so weird. And then my dad came this year. He moved this year to Tennessee, and he's been on the West Coast all his life. He's never been on the East Coast.
Really?
And so it was like a huge change. He's still trying to get used to it. He's only been here for maybe 5 months now. And that was like the first thing he said. He was like, your guys' thunder is crazy. He's like, I've never heard anything like this. I was like, I know.
Well, yeah, my friends in California, they freak out when there's thunder.
Do they have thunder there?
Very rarely. In Southern California, very rarely.
Oh, yeah. My dad was from way up north by like the Oregon border.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So with my shrimp, what do you can it in?
Just
You
I
pack
do.
it cold.
No,
You cook
you gotta.
it?
Yeah, you gotta cook it a little bit. Is your shrimp your shrimp doesn't have any skin on or shell on it, right?
No, they're even the raw ones are cleaned.
All right, so you would just get a gallon of water, and do 3 tablespoons of salt, and bring that to a boil, and then dump the shrimp in there for about 3 minutes so that they're warm, and then you would just hot pack them,
Oh,
and then use that brine that you boiled them in to fill the jars.
so if they're all cold though, could I cold pack them?
Well, yeah, I guess you could, yeah.
And
But
then
you
start,
want,
because my canner isn't even on.
yeah. I mean, I guess you could, but you would want that salt to dissolve and incorporate into the water.
Right. I was just gonna like add a pinch to the jars.
Yeah, you
I
can
was
do it.
also gonna try to do a small jar with like cocktail sauce and see what that comes out like.
Yeah, you could see. Play around with it. That's how you're going to learn.
Yeah, like the cocktail sauce. Did you ever see those little shrimp, those little glasses with the teeny little shrimp and the cocktail sauce in the
Yeah.
jars? They're those little jars. No, but they used to be popular. I don't really see them anymore. But I thought maybe I could do something like that
Yeah.
so that the shrimps are like floating in the cocktail sauce.
Yeah, you could do that. Cocktail sauce is basically just horseradish, right?
It's like ketchup or chili sauce with horseradish and lemon or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no reason we couldn't can in it, right?
Right. As long
As
as
the
you're
liquid.
pressure canning, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I've never done cocktail sauce because I don't care for it.
but you've done ketchup, right?
Yeah.
How do you do? Do you water bath
Well,
ketchup?
you can water bath ketchup as long as you get the acidity level up in it. You have to put vinegar in it. So
But
we don't
if I'm pressure canning it, it's not gonna hurt it.
know. I'm just trying to see if anybody has a cocktail.
I saw in one book a recipe for someone was canning their Bloody Mary mix,
Oh, really?
which is basically tomato juice,
Yeah.
lemon, horseradish, and a bunch of seasonings and stuff. They must really like Bloody Marys if
They
they're
must.
jarring their own mix, right?
Yeah. I never cared for Bloody Marys either.
I like them, but I like them even more without the alcohol. It has, I don't know, a better taste, but I like them either way. I like them with olives and shrimp. Oh, how's the baby pigs?
They're doing good. They're growing. They're being raw and
How
going
big are
great.
they? It's hard to tell. They must be like 20 pounds or more.
Yeah, I'd say about 15, 20 pounds. They grow quick.
How old do they have to be to be sold?
It's usually 7 to 8 weeks. It depends on the piglet, but if they're eating well, solid food and stuff, about 7 to 8 weeks.
I wish I could have one.
Yeah, you can purchase one. I'll ship it to you.
Send it on a bus.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering about that because my friend, she breeds Great Pyrenees and Maramas, and she sells them online all across the country. And she just ships them on an airplane. Like
Oh
when
yeah, people
they
do.
purchase one, they just ship it on an airplane. I'm like, I wonder if you could do that with piglets.
My stepdaughter rescued a dog. I don't remember where she was from, somewhere down south, and it was from a rescue that advertised, all over the place, and they take the dogs on like, I don't know, I think trucks or something, like rescue missions, and they'll pack them all up in the crates and
Mm-hmm.
head like northeast
Huh.
to various stops, and so they'll transport dogs, and then sometimes people who aren't part of the rescue but maybe want a dog transported, that they sold privately, will
Yeah.
pay them to transport the dog also.
Huh.
But yeah, they send them in planes too, and you can buy a puppy and have it shipped anywhere. But her dog came off. She was a young dog, maybe not even a year, and she was extremely anxious. I don't know if it was from the trip, but they couldn't take her in a vehicle for a long time. She was so scared of cars, probably from that trip.
Yeah.
As soon as they as soon as they put her in the car, she would throw up, not even like leaving the you know, not even leaving the house. Just in the car in front of the house. She would go into like panic. Now she's doing a little bit better, and it's hard because she's a big dog. But
Sunsets on the Gulf are amazing. Good morning, and thanks for coming in. Says, good morning, Jess. I've been wanting to can shrimp. I've missed the beginning of your session. So can you share this on your page, please? I want to watch from the beginning. Yeah, this will be available for everybody after the live ends. It will be up on my channel. And then Felicia, I did look up and found a woman that canned some cocktail sauce. She made it from scratch, and then she processed it in a water bath for 15 minutes.
right,
But since you're putting shrimp in it, you don't want to do water bath.
right. I just have a little bit of it. I'm gonna do like jelly jar size, probably, just to see
Yeah.
how it comes out, and then if it's good, I'll do it again. And I'll do the lobsters in a little jar too, the two tails, and see what happens.
Harvest Mary Moon says, most of the time when you go to a seafood market, you can ask where it comes from, and if they say Core Sound, North Carolina, that's where I live. The shrimp has a sweet taste, so good. I would love, that's one of my dreams. I want to go to a seafood market, like, on the dock. Like, I've never been to anything like that before. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to go to one.
Mm-hmm.
Moonlight Gypsy says, I've had to give 0.25 milligram of Benadryl to dogs 30 minutes before a road trip.
And my dog, my little guy, he carries on if he doesn't get to go in the car.
Hmm.
He loves the car.
Yeah, my dogs love car rides. And if we're outside and we have to get something out of like the truck or the car and the dogs are around, oh my gosh, they jump in the car. They refuse to get out. I'm like, come on.
My little dog has a car seat on the console,
Aw.
like between the two front seats.
Yeah.
He has like it's sold as a dog car seat for small dogs, and he
Aw.
sits in there right next to me. He's got his like seatbelt on, and he can lay down, take a nap, or he can sit up and he can look right out, the windshield. He used to
Yeah.
be like climbing all over me because he wanted to be able to see. And I'm like, that doesn't work. So I found a different car seat, and he still couldn't see because it was like low.
Yeah.
And then I found this thing, and it's adorable.
That's
And he
awesome.
loves it. So
And my dogs are way too big for a doggy car seat.
well, yeah. Yeah, my dog's only like, last I knew, not even 5 pounds.
Mm.
Tinier than a piglet at birth, right?
Yeah.
Any more births on the homestead?
Nope. I think everything's done for the season. So now we just gotta wait until everything gets big and be able to butcher and stuff with them.
So how many are you going to save?
It depends. I basically go by the male. The males are the ones that get butchered.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, like for instance, like the ducks, I'll keep all the females for laying ducks, and then the males will be butchered out. Or if anybody is interested in buying butcher ducks, I'll sell some if I have enough left over. And then basically it's the same thing for the piglets. We butcher the males and save the females. Hello, Caribbean House. Good morning. Yeah, the males kind of get short into the stick.
What's a lemon walker hound?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to look that up. Sounds yellow. Oh, how cute. Oh. Like that? Look how cute, Jess.
Oh, that is cute.
Ah. I never heard of that.
Me either.
A coon hound. It's also a marijuana strain, Lemon Walker OG cut. See how much we learn?
Yeah. That's funny. He was a rescue. Best baby I ever had. I don't know why, but it always seems like the rescue animals are always like the best animals.
Hmm.
On my way
A lot of them came from tough situations, so they appreciate when they have it good.
Yeah. Caribbean House says on my way to Fresh Market to see what they have. Awesome.
I was in the store yesterday, my local supermarket, Hannaford, and everything looked good. I didn't see a lot of empty spots, like produce was full and dairy was full, meat, like, but I've been noticing this for a while. There's like less and less beef and pork,
Yeah.
but they make the section really small. And then they have a huge section of that, whatever you call it, fake meat. You know, the Impossible and Beyond and
Yeah.
all that stuff. They keep that in the meat case now.
Huh.
Yeah. And then lots and lots of like frozen meat too, like frozen hamburgers. You know, like, so those sections, they're kind of growing.
Yeah.
Then the fresh meat and pork, the section is much smaller, but they still had what I went in to buy. They had like a couple items on sale, boneless pork ribs, or those, I don't know what they call them, Southern style pork shoulder.
Yeah.
They had that. I got a pack, and bottom round. I make like a pulled beef with that.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a pot and try to can some. I do it in the slow cooker, and it has a lot of sauce. So if I can it right in the gravy,
Yeah.
that should work, right? Shred it up and then put
Yeah.
it back with the onions and gravy and do it for, what would that be? Like 75 minutes for a pint?
Yeah. 75 minutes. Hey, from Kate's Kitchen. Thanks for coming in and giving me a thumbs up. I hope you're having a blessed day. Lady Casca says they've had Impossible meats or whatever they're called with the meat for over a year now.
Yeah. But the veggie stuff, like the more tofu based or the, you know, the original vegetarian kind of burgers, meat, is always with the tofu.
Yeah.
In the produce section. So this stuff, they're really pushing it, and I don't even understand what's in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't researched it. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
I know people around here are complaining about the canned meat. We've got a lot of canned meats missing. They can't find anywhere.
I saw online. I was just looking because people were saying stuff wasn't available, like canned ham and canned beef, but I've never purchased that anyway. So
Yeah.
that was hard to get. But I think like the canned, I think tuna and other things are still around. There was plenty of chicken. The store was loaded with fresh chicken.
Yeah, and see, I don't notice stuff like that either because I don't buy canned meat like that from the store. So I don't know. I guess I should start paying attention to what's around.
Yeah, the only canned meat I use is tuna, really. Maybe salmon.
Yeah, tuna and salmon, and that's all. But that's in a totally different aisle.
Right. I've also bought canned chicken, like canned chicken breast, and it's okay. I mean,
I used to buy, I think it's called Swanson's, the shredded chicken in the can, the big can. I used to buy that a lot back when, I mean, that was years ago though.
yeah, I get like chunks and it's in broth, but then recently I did my own chicken.
Yeah.
And in, you know, nicer chunks. So that would be, I'm sure, taste better. I just did it in water, but it'll turn into like a chicken broth. I think I put salt and water.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I was just saying those cans though, like I quit quite a few years back buying those cans of chicken because they went from like $5 and now they're all, I always keep an eye on those because I used to buy them all the time. Now they're almost up to $9.
How big is the can?
I don't know. It's good size.
Oh,
It's like that. But I used to make like shredded chicken with it, with the mushroom soup and stuff. And the price on them just kept going higher and higher. I'm like, forget this. I'm gonna start making my own.
I've bought like small cans, and if they go on sale, they're like $1, a little bit more for like a can the size of a tuna can. So I'll just use it if I want to open it up and make like a little tuna chicken salad instead of tuna.
Yeah.
But
I agree, Harvest Mary Moon. She says, I really hope people start living and eating off the land and water. I have been all my life. And that's kind of like the whole point of my channel, is to teach people how to can and, eat what you grow, or eat what you harvest or raise.
Right.
I wish everybody lived this lifestyle, but
I haven't been doing that. Obviously, I live in a condo, so I don't have that much room. I just grow a few things to grow a few things. But I've been picking up food, and the stuff that I have been preserving is a lot healthier because I'm not using any crazy ingredients, and I'm buying like whole food.
Right.
I'm doing
and
a lot.
That's the thing, though. At least you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm shopping, the meat section, the grains a little bit, the fruits and vegetables, and picking up what's fresh and then preserving it and dehydrating it. I even tried making the watermelon rind candy. I have some of it in the dehydrator now. I don't know what it tastes like. Never had it.
Yeah, you have to let me know.
So I'm thinking you could probably do it with Swerve.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll see what it tastes like. I did it with sugar. But I'll see. I have some blueberries in there. I got like 4 pints of blueberries. And I have strawberries, some from my plants and some from the store.
Oh, we went to Aldi's yesterday to pick up a couple of things. And I checked the strawberries while I was in there, and they went back up to $2.99 a pack. I'm like,
I got them $1.69 this week, but the week or two before they were $99.
Yeah.
But so many. I made jam. I made dried strawberries, and they all disappeared. Everyone loved them. So now I'm like, well, that's cool, but now we don't have any.
Yeah.
So I bought some more at the $1.69, and then I've been picking from my plants, like a little cupful every day. And if we don't eat them, I just stick them in the dehydrator with whatever else is going on.
Yeah. All right, Shift Kicker, you have a blessed day too. Thanks for coming in.
Bye, Shift Kicker.
So what else are you planning on today after the shrimp? Are you going to do anything else?
I'm going to try. I'm going to put that bottom round in the slow cooker like probably this afternoon and let it cook on low overnight because I let it get really fall apart and shred it.
Yeah.
I have a really simple recipe that my family loves for that. You take, I use bottom round. I guess you could use anything. Originally, I found it as a brisket recipe. But I was going to slice the brisket in slices.
Yeah.
But I guess I needed to maybe refrigerate it to get it cold because it all just fell apart.
Yeah.
It just fell apart. And I remember I was cooking it for dinner, and that's when I still had all my kids home and everyone. And everyone was like, oh, we're having brisket for dinner. I got this new recipe, blah, blah, blah. And then it just fell apart. So I just say, well, screw it, I'm going to shred it. And then they're like, where's the brisket? I said, oh, we're having shredded beef. And they're like, what? It was brisket this morning. In the pot. I'm like, yeah, shredded beef. Everyone loved it.
That's
Everyone
awesome.
loved it on like a roll, like a sandwich or whatever. And it's the easiest recipe. And but brisket has so much fat, so there was always so much fat in it. And then sometimes here brisket is like so expensive too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I'm just gonna shred it, I asked the butcher what else, could I use that would shred that doesn't cost so much and have so much fat. So he says, oh, just use bottom round. So I did, and I did the same recipe, and it shreds beautifully. Way less fat. There's that one chunk of fat that you can cut off if you want. And all I do is add chili sauce in a jar,
Yeah.
and I've used ketchup if I didn't have chili sauce, and onion soup mix, and then I add. I cover the whole bottom of the crock pot also with just sliced onion, fresh. And you just cook it and cook it and cook it.
Yum.
And then you shred it, and it's delicious. And even like the gravy, the sauce or whatever, they're like putting the meat on the sandwich and putting extra sauce, and they all love it. Even the ones that don't like onion. They eat it without the pieces of onion. So I'm going to do that and try to jar some of it.
Yeah.
Get my kitchen back under control. What else do I have to do? I have peaches I have to do something with. I jarred some peaches, but I tasted them. They weren't that sweet. But I just used apple juice.
You can put some sweetener on it when you pull them out, though.
Yeah. So I'll probably jar some more and dry some more. I really liked them dry. They were so good. And it was from the same batch of peaches. So when you dry it, it concentrates the sugar. When you can it, it didn't seem as sweet. So I have a whole bunch of peaches I got when they were like 99 cents.
Nice.
And actually today's the farmer's market, but it's raining, so I don't know if they'll all show up.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew Stone, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm about done now. I'm just waiting for the canner to come to, or the canner to stop processing.
But the recipe is basically just salt, water.
And yep.
Now the vinegar.
I add the vinegar when we're first processing it to help peel the shrimp. So if you're not peeling the shrimp, then it's just salt and water.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I guess it makes its own like broth.
Yeah. It's just basically called a brine.
Right. But as it cooks in the jar, like after you pull the shrimp out, if you were going to make like a chowder or something, that would be good to use.
Yeah, you can do that.
Because it'll be flavored from the
shrimp. Yep.
So that's good. What else are you going to do?
I've got tomatoes I've got to process. I pulled out tomatoes the other day. I didn't show you.
I saw a recipe for red tomatoes where you put them in the jar. I've seen several people do it, and they all said they're really good. Where you put them in the jar red with salt and water, and some people put garlic or basil or not, and they just let them ferment in the jar.
Yeah.
And then they can be stored either in the fridge or if you have a cool area. And then one guy had it like a year later. He opened it up and ate it, and said it was still delicious.
Yeah.
Like feta type of thing, but better.
Yeah. I'm going to do...
Try that.
more at the end of the tomato season. I'll do some jars like that. But right now, I really got to focus on like my tomato sauces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm down to 1 jar of tomato sauce.
Wow.
And I need to get pizza sauce done. We use a lot of pizza sauce too. And what else was there? Marinara I need to do. There's a couple tomato recipes I gotta get done.
Yeah, if I could get a load of, ripe local tomatoes, or even sometimes, because they'll sell them here, but they're like really expensive. Like even at the farm market, they'll sell it for like $2 a pound.
Yeah.
You need a lot of tomatoes to make sauce and stuff. So sometimes if they're like a little bit overripe, which is good for sauce, then they'll sell them a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
A whole, huge amount. So, but I have those sweet 100s cherry tomatoes, and they're like huge grapes, but they're green. They're clusters like grapes. So I'm going to do some of those fermented ones.
Yeah.
With those. I think that would be best.
Yeah.
With little ones. And it looked so pretty in the jars.
Yeah, so I'll be doing the tomatoes, and then I'm going to do that pectin recipe for everybody. Everybody's been asking for a video on the pectin.
Oh, from the apples?
From the apples, so I'll be doing that today too.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can get that out to everybody.
That's good. That's interesting. Yeah. So I'll just be home doing stuff like that. See what I can get done.
Yeah.
And pray that my power stays on tomorrow. That's the worst.
I don't like it when the power goes out. It feels like it's just like a dreary day. It makes you really tired and lazy.
It's horrible. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's my electric company to tell me my electric's back on. They always call afterwards. I don't know why.
Not funny. I always get when we have power outages here, they'll send me an email saying, "Hey, the power is out in your area." And of course, I don't get that message until after the power is back on. I'm like, why do they even send a message? Not like any of us can see it.
We can send them, if you can go on the website, which probably you couldn't because you can't even get internet or anything.
Yeah.
I can get on my phone to the website. You can report the outage, and then they give you some information on it and estimates and text messages and stuff. But that's how I knew it was supposed to be by 10:30.
Oh, okay.
It's not even 10 yet, so. But
yes,
sometimes those are wrong.
We have an issue because when the power goes out here, we don't have cell service. We have no cell phone
Right.
anywhere around us. So when our power goes out, it's out.
That's too funny. That's even worse. Isolation. So then what do you do? Like radio?
No.
Like a little battery operated radio pick on anything?
No.
How would you get news?
We
To know what's going on in your area.
We don't worry about it. If we want to find out something, we'll run up to the little country store and ask. But most of the time, we just wait it out.
Uh-huh. That's funny.
We live back in the olden days.
I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to be right back.
All right. So we got another 8 minutes and 27 seconds, and that shrimp in the can will be done. Oh no, I lost her. So what is everybody doing in the chat today? Is there any canning or shopping or gardening or homesteading going on in the chat? I don't know what's wrong with me, but for the last few days I've been craving ice cream like crazy. And Barrett made me some ice cream the other night, and oh, it was so good. And that's all I can think about is ice cream all the time now. Trying to convince a woman to allow me to put a barrel in the house somewhere so I can store food in it. Good luck with that one. Do you live on any like property or anything like that, Matthew? You'd take your barrel and bury it in the ground and fill it up with food. I want to go get shrimp to can. I wish I would have been able to do more shrimp. I only got 1 pint out of this bag. That's all right. Like I said, here in September, I'll be able to do the prong harvest and be able to do a much larger bass. Nope. Oh, that stinks. I'm sorry, Matthew. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you can convince her. That's the only thing that kind of stinks about living so far away from the ocean is it's really hard to get your hands on any type of seafood. And when you do, it's super expensive. That's a good question. The people that live close to the ocean, how are the prices? Is it like super expensive too, or is it a lot cheaper because you're right there? I always wondered that. On a good note, I did get 24 64-ounce jars of for $50. Nice. That's not bad. I always loved bringing home canning jars. Got 4 minutes left. That went pretty quick. Yeah, I got to get these tomatoes done later today too. And have to pull out the juicer, start juicing stuff. And then I'll do the pectin, and I think I'll call it a day after that. A lot of work. Moonface 5, good morning. How are you doing? What are you doing this morning? What you got going on? All right, Lady Casca, thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. I hope you feel better, and I will see you next time. Stay happy, healthy, safe. Bye. I can go to Galveston Shrimp Company and buy large shrimp with throat tails from the machine for $6.99 a pound. Oh, that's not bad at all. I don't buy fresh shrimp, just frozen, so I don't know about the shrimp prices. I don't either, Matthew. Well, I know the shrimp prices, the frozen shrimp are super expensive. I think for this bag, it was like $8.99 for the small bag. It was ridiculous. But my husband wanted shrimp, so I got it for him. We went and got the prongs last year in September, and we got 8 pounds of it. And it basically lasted us up until, I think it was like March or April of this year, so it lasted quite a while. I knew what you meant. I'm still waking up, got a big kitchen mess to clean up from having company over yesterday. I think that's like the most dreaded chore anymore is cleaning the kitchen. It seems like that's all I do anymore from doing all the canning and processing. You just gotta constantly clean. Ugh. I hate seeing dishes in the sink. It drives me nuts. Last night, it took me like 2 hours to get up and get the motivation to clean my kitchen because I knew if I had my kitchen clean when I woke up, that I would feel much better. But said it took me a long time to get the motivation to just do that. And I'm glad I did because I know this morning I woke up and I came out in the kitchen and it just gave me peace. Yes, Moon Phase 5. I agree. I feel like I live in the kitchen these days. I feel like that's all I do. I'm just in the kitchen constantly, all the time. Woo. Excuse me. I'm sick of looking at the kitchen. I did go out and harvest a bunch of stuff the other day, though, like the tomatoes. I did some green beans. Yesterday I harvested some more apples so I can do the pectin video. I harvested a bunch of basil and tons of basil. I don't know if you can see that. I've got basil hanging to dry. It smells so good. And then I also harvested a bunch of marigolds and zinnias, so I'll be able to have flowers next year. It's rewarding to wake up to a clean kitchen. It is. It's not like it happens a lot, though, to be honest. I always have a kitchen that looks like it's exploded. I'm so excited you're doing the live canning on shrimp. We go out on the bay and fish, trout, and hope to can fish to stick up in the pantry. Yeah, I was talking about that a little bit earlier, Sunset. I've never really canned any fish. I've done shrimp, but I've never done fish. And so I want to see how that'll turn out. That's exciting. Oh, thank you, Moon Phase. So my timer just went off. I need to shut this off. Hopefully I can muscle up some strength to move this canner over a little bit. I like to move my canner off the burner so it'll come down quicker. Oh yeah, that one's not bad. But then again, I only have one jar in there, so. Oh, here we go. Welcome back.
Hey there, sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to disappear.
You're
I'm going
okay.
to start putting my shrimp in the jars. They have tails. I'll just snap the tails off. But they're clean.
No, they were actually pre-cooked, Matt.
Huh?
Matthew Stone was asking, canning raw shrimp, I suppose. Mine were actually pre-cooked. but mine were already deveined and shelled and everything.
Yeah, these too, but they just have the tail still on for whatever
Yeah.
reason. And some of them are cooked. But
Felicia's doing half and half cooked, and then the other half are not cooked or raw.
they're gonna cook. They're gonna
Yeah.
cook plenty. So I'm not gonna worry.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Now, if I had access to raw shrimp, I would be doing raw shrimp, but I don't until the prong season comes in. Once prong season comes in, then I'll do raw.
Are the prawns like local?
Yeah, they're local. I have a farmer that actually has 3 ponds, and he harvests them every September.
Oh, so he has like saltwater,
Prong
freshwater prawn?
No, prongs are freshwater, shrimp or saltwater. It's
Oh.
basically the same thing, except for one is fresh water and one's salt.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. No, actually, Matthew, they're not soggy at all. My shrimp have never been soggy after canning them.
So what do you do with them? Do you make
I personally like making shrimp Alfredo or garlic and butter shrimp. Barrett likes to make shrimp salad with it. I don't really care for shrimp salad, but he likes to make shrimp salad and then make a sandwich out of it.
I was gonna do the scallops, but I can't find them, so I don't know if I ate them. But or maybe they just got pushed to the back of the freezer. But I was gonna try to do those in ghee.
Ooh.
Can it in the ghee and then just like pour the whole thing into the pan to warm it up.
Yeah.
And then, add like garlic and have like scallops, scampi or something.
Now, I've never had scallops before. I don't even know what they would taste like.
I don't know what they would be like canned, but
yeah.
I was willing to try it.
What do scallops taste like?
I don't know, like a shellfish, I guess, but a little bit different texture. They're chewier texture. I don't know. Maybe they're more the taste of a shrimp, but the texture of a clam, but not as tough.
Yeah. Where do they come from? Like, what are they? What exactly are they?
Well, you know what a scallop shell looks like, right?
No.
Yeah, you do. Like a seashell. They never come in the shells. That's the thing. It comes in a hard shell like a clam, but it's scalloped.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know why they never sell them in the shells around here. Maybe, if you go to a seafood market, it would be.
Yeah.
In the shell. But they just sell them. You can frozen or like fresh on ice. And then they have the little ones, they call them bay scallops. And then the big ones are the even better ones. But the bay scallops are great in like like a sauce or soup.
Yeah, I've seen them like in the seafood area, in the cooler and stuff like that. But I never knew what they came from or what they actually were or anything. And I'm just, I don't know. They never looked appetizing for me to buy, so I never have.
They're very, very meaty. And if you, the best way to do the big ones is to wrap them in bacon and I'll like broil them with ghee, so it doesn't burn.
Yeah.
And it browns them, and until the bacon cooks is so delicious.
Now that I could probably do.
That would be a good intro to scallops. You'd love it.
Yeah. Shrimp patties, like crab patties, would be yummy, yes.
Ooh, that's a good, and that would probably work great with the jar shrimp.
Yeah.
Because people do canned shrimp. I've seen canned shrimp with those little ones.
Yeah.
Do dips and different recipes and stuff.
Moonface says, I very much enjoy shrimp. Butter, garlic is my forte. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I like them cold too, like shrimp cocktail. Shrimp stir
I'm
fry.
weird. I like to eat my shrimp with the tail on. I like the crunch of the tail.
You eat the tail?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I could
I
send you
don't
all
know.
these tails.
I
It's probably good. It's got to be good calcium and stuff.
don't know. Everybody, when I started finally eating shrimp, they're like, you're supposed to take the tail off. And I was like, no, I like the tail. It gives it a crunch. It's a better texture for me. And they're like, that's like eating fingernails, And I'm like, well, that's the way I like it.
Yeah, I don't have too many jars of shrimps either.
How many did you get?
I got like just 3 from that shrimp ring and then 2 bags of shrimp. They were like 12 ounces each, but I wanted to do the small jar with cocktail sauce. Maybe I'll do the cocktail sauce in a big jar. I don't know. Or maybe I'll do a few small jars and pour one out and do the lobster in with a few shrimp. That'll work.
Matthew says you can eat the shell also.
I know people cook with the shells. Like I have this big pile of tails. If I wanted to make like a seafood base,
Yeah.
I could. I don't think I'm going to, but
The first year I found this guy that had the prong. That's what I did. Thankfully there was like a shell whole with the head on, and thankfully he had FFA students there to like take the heads off for you.
mm-hmm.
But it was like the first time I had ever worked with them, and brought them home to process myself. And the first year I was being lazy. I didn't want to shell them or anything, so I just left the shell on, and I just froze them in freezer bags and like portion size freezer bags. And I really kicked myself in the butt for that because we don't like the shell left on to eat it. And so every time I pulled it out of the freezer, I had to sit there and shell it. I'm like, man, if I would have done this in the beginning,
Right.
this would have been a lot easier.
People peel and eat shrimp, where they peel them and eat them like cold.
Yeah.
They peel them as they're eating them, so that can be fun sometimes.
Yeah. And that's another reason, like, not only like before when I didn't like seafood, I didn't like the taste of it and stuff, but I also, like, I've always been like a meat and potato girl, like a steak and potato.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, why don't you like seafood? And I was like, well, one, I don't like the taste, and two, it's too much work. I don't want to sit there and shell everything and crack crab legs and pull the shell off a shrimp. It's too much work when I can just have a steak and cut it up and eat it.
Uh-huh. I didn't eat seafood till I was an adult. I just wouldn't.
Yeah. I tried it over the years. I kept trying it to see if my taste buds would change and stuff, but I just could not stand it. And I remember, a couple of family get-togethers when I was younger. They would go to, for, big celebrations, they would go to like Red Lobster to eat, and I'd have to go with them. And just the smell of walking in there,
I would cry if my family went to a seafood restaurant and they'd have a big dead fish on the wall.
Yeah. I cried. I would cry too, but it was because of the smell, not the.
Oh yeah, I couldn't stand any part of it, and then I slowly started eating Now I'll eat most, but
Sunset says we have a restaurant called Kate's that catch fresh and put on table and sell red snapper wings, which is carved out of fins that is deep fried for an appetizer menu. $10, really good. What is red snapper wings?
wings?
Yeah, it says red snapper wings, which is carved out of fins that is deep fried for
I don't know.
I guess they're just friends. Fins.
Probably the fins, the little edges and stuff. Well, I have the lobster tails too. I could make a seafood stock. Maybe I'll try it for an experiment.
That's why I love canning. You can like just experiment and see what works and see what doesn't. It's just like cooking.
What was the worst thing you ever made that you canned and you didn't like it?
Oh
A
God.
disaster. Not like food poisoning, just tasted gross.
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I don't think I've canned anything that I didn't really dislike. I guess the closest thing to disaster would be when I first started canning bacon.
Oh.
And I raw packed the bacon, and I did it in parchment paper like I still do, but instead of parboiling it, I just packed it in there raw, and that was like a nasty, nasty mess because of all the oil or all the bacon grease that was in there. You get to open the jar up, and it was just bacon grease everywhere. And no matter what you did, you'd end up with bacon grease everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then trying to put it in the skillet, it was just a mess. But that's probably the worst thing I ever canned. But once I started parboiling it, it was a lot better. But I can't say.
But how do you keep? I don't understand it. Then you wrap it in the paper.
Oh, you're cutting out.
So, what do you do with the parchment paper?
I roll the bacon up in the parchment paper. I lay the parchment paper out, and then I lay the slices of bacon on the parchment paper, and then you just roll it up in a ball or like in like the shape of the jar.
Right. Okay. So then,
it just makes it easier.
What
and
do you
neater.
fill the jar with?
Nothing.
So then more grease drips out and just comes all to the bottom of the jar?
Yeah, but because you parboil it, there's not as much grease in it.
But then the jars will be like, when they're done, half empty.
No, you really, really pack those jars with bacon.
Oh.
You make it really tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big hunk of fish with fins on, like eating chicken wings, but they call it red snapper wings. Oh, okay. I love crispy, crunchy, fried fish tails and fins on the fish. I can't say I've ever tried it.
Me either.
Yeah, snow crab legs. Well, when I lived in Montana, I have family in Montana, and I also have family in Fairbanks, Alaska. And so when one of my aunts would come for a visit from Fairbanks, Alaska to Montana, she would bring all kinds of snow crab legs, the king crab legs.
Oh, yeah.
And like the family would do this big, huge crab boil and with all these crab legs, and I'd end up leaving. I'm like, you guys are disgusting. This stinks so bad. And now that I like crab legs and stuff, I look back on those days and I'm like, I was nuts. What was I thinking?
Yeah, those are delicious.
No, I had issues back then, I guess, because I didn't find them delicious.
I wouldn't back then either.
I remember we had a family get together at a Las Vegas casino, and this specific casino was nothing but a seafood buffet.
Yep.
They all wanted the family reunion gathering there, so we went there, and it was horrible. The only thing I ended up eating was like salad, and that was it. And I just remember they had like this big, huge buffet platter of nothing but crawdads with the heads on, and I'm like, ew.
Mm-hmm.
They're all sitting there at the table eating them. I'm like, no. Moon phase, you got me laughing. She says, ew, like eating fingernails. So sunset, is that just any fish they do that with, or is it a specific fish that they do it with? Oh my gosh. I wonder if I can get into StreamYard fast enough. You guys, my piglets are at my back door.
The piglets?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry about that. I guess my internet cut out. Trying to get on StreamYard with my phone so I can show you these piglets.
Where are they?
They're out the back door.
So I'm going to do an experiment. Since I'll have room in the canner.
Yeah.
I did a jar of the shells. I'm going to see if I can get some stock. Put a little salt.
Let's see if I can catch them without them getting scared away. They probably already took off. What the heck?
Oh, we lost her. There she is.
Oh. I guess they already took off. They heard me.
Uh,
They heard me open that back door and they zoomed out of here.
they don't run away?
Yeah, they ran back to their pen as soon as I opened that door.
Oh, okay. So I have 2 jars of shrimp, 1 jar of shrimp with 2 lobster tails, and 2 of these with the cocktail sauce. I'm gonna try. And then I'm gonna see if I can cook these shells and get all the flavor out of them and then make a seafood stock. Or not.
Yeah. Thanks. I was hoping I could show you piglets. All right. Now 1 can is done. That's what it looks like. Beautiful. It'll be so yummy.
Came out, Jen? Jess?
Yeah, I'll show you.
It's pink, right? Oh, how nice. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I love seeing just different jars on my shelf. I love seeing all different colors and
Me too.
it's beautiful. Hey Mark over at Rolling Homestead, how you doing? Good to see you. No breakfast this morning. We're canning shrimp. I haven't done any breakfast yet. Not all restaurants do it, but Kate's Seafood is fresh caught to table. Kate's Boat has had a series on cable TV, and I think the National Geographic channel called Big Fish Texas. Huh. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I want to thank you all for coming out and hanging out with us while we are canning shrimp. I hope you all stay happy, healthy, and safe. And if you missed the beginning of this video, you can go back to my channel and watch it from the beginning. And we'll see you next time. I want to thank Felicia for coming up and canning with me and hanging out.
Sorry I was late.
It's all right. You're fine.
So I just got mine in, the cold
Okay.
canner. So how many minutes? 75?
No, 40 minutes.
40
minutes
minutes.
for shrimp. Yeah.
Okay.
Once you let the it vent for 10 minutes, then you'll want to can it for 40.
Okay.
Just if I
awesome.
raw pack the process time, would I pressure can? I would still do 40 minutes sunset. Yep.
Awesome. I'll let you know how it goes. And what are we making next week?
I'm not sure yet. That will be continued.
Ask the chat for some ideas.
Yeah. Any of the chat have ideas what we should do for next week? Go ahead and leave it in the comment below, and we'll take all the suggestions we can get.
Yep.
Felicia, if you want to stay on, I'll talk to you behind the backstage here in a
Okay,
minute.
sure.
And everybody else, I hope you have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.